The Reserve Bank of India on Wednesday shocked markets by announcing no change in the benchmark policy rate. The repo rate was kept steady at 6.25% and the reverse repo rate was also held unchanged. The cash reserve ratio at an aggregate level still remains at 4%, but the incremental 100% CRR that they had imposed on deposits between 16th September and 11th November has actually been withdrawn. The decision actually came as a huge surprise to the markets. The bond markets were expecting not just a 25 basis point cut, some were expecting a 50 basis point cut. So yields have spiked in response to this particular decision. How does the RBI justify it now? Well, they say that they do expect some transient impact on the economy in terms of growth from the withdrawal of 500 and 1000 rupee notes. They have brought down their gross value added, that's GVA growth estimate to 7.1% for the current fiscal from 7.6 earlier. But it's not a huge paring down of the growth estimate, and in the policy press conference they said that some of it was actually based on the weaker than expected growth in the second quarter. So they aren't seeing a major hit to growth from the demonetization. On the inflation front, again, they have maintained that inflation will be at about 5% by March 2017, and that is what they had set as the target earlier. So they haven't made any major economic projection changes, and that justifies the fact that they have kept interest rates steady. All the 6 Monetary Policy Committee members voted in favor of this. Their stance remains accommodative, but they do feel that with 175 basis points in cuts since the start of 2015, they have already done a lot. That's on the interest rate side. As we all know, this time's policy was far more about what's happening in terms of the availability of currency. We didn't get a whole lot in terms of new numbers from the Reserve Bank of India. We do know that about 11.5 lakh crore of old currency has come back into the system. The RBI Deputy Governor, Mr. Gandhi, suggested that about 4 lakh crore in new currency has been printed. Remember, the demonetization had taken out about 15 lakh crore of currency from the system. So out of that, about 4 lakh crore in new currency has come into the system. They didn't say by when this remonetization process will be over. They did actually say that the central board had taken this decision based on the counterfeiting out there and also an attempt to reduce the black economy, and they said that this was not a decision taken in haste and it was planned to the extent that it could have been, given that extreme secrecy had to be maintained. So that was the first word from the RBI on demonetization, or the first substantive word from the RBI on demonetization. And as far as interest rates are concerned, looks like a fairly hawkish stance and no change in interest rates, at least on Wednesday.